So today we are making the first cut in the metal. We're cutting a hole in the roof for this baby. So this is the MaxxAir fan. This is going to ventilate the entire van, which is going to be really amazing. It's going to be installed right here, and we need a 14-inch by 14-inch square. And what I did was I used this piece, which is it's gonna come in from the bottom. This part goes inside the van. This is the part that sticks up. And what we did, these brackets are on the outsides. Held it up right in the middle and just marked the corners right here, just so I know where the corners are. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a drill bit and I'm gonna go up in these corners so I can see right where they are. And then from the holes that come up from the top, I'm gonna draw lines to make them nice and straight on the top of the vehicle before I actually cut it. And I don't have them out here right now, I'll show you in a minute, but I'm gonna use a jigsaw. I got a really fine-toothed jigsaw blade that's meant for thin metal, so that way the metal's not bouncing up and down any more than it has to. We cleaned off the top of the van first, just to make sure all of our mounting areas, all the sealant, all that stuff is gonna have a nice clean metal to stick to. And I'm also gonna tape all around where the cut marks are gonna be. And the purpose of that is, so I'm gonna tape before I drill the holes actually. And that way I can mark on the tape, which just is really visible. And when you drill, or when you cut with a jigsaw, if you don't tape it ahead of time, then you have like metal fragments that can fly off to the sides. So taping something, especially metal, before you cut through it is really nice. This is just a black garbage bag that I'm taping up right here, and I'm just gonna tape it all the way after I drill a couple holes inside here, because when I cut it from the top, there's gonna be metal shavings coming down. I don't want them going everywhere in case I walk out here barefoot. So that's just gonna capture all this stuff, just a helpful hint for you guys out there installing your own fans. Ear protection, always a good idea. Eyes too. So don't do what I'm doing. I just cut a hole in my van. I just drilled a hole, I mean. You wanna get this? This is the first hole that's ever been put in the van. Yeah. All right, 3 more. Now I'm just tracing around these holes so I have a line to follow. Bigger hole time. So there's pieces of metal all over this, and I don't want to step on them and scrape the top of this van. So what I have in here is a really high power magnet wrapped in a little sheath just to make it a little less powerful. I'm gonna put that in this paper bag. Have a grip on it. I have a bunch of metal in here. Now, put that in this bag. Take the magnet out. All the metal falls off. Now it's all in this bag. Now it's time to do the real stuff. The hole is cut. Should we see if it fits? That was a beautiful cut too. I really recommend these blades that I bought. I'll put a description or a post of them in the description. They're Bosch sheet metal blades. This might be a tad small. I wanted to start small if anything. It's a tad small. So I just finished the final cuts in here, and it's time to see if it fits in. I think this is the one that's gonna work. Yes! All right, first we're gonna put this in place. We just did a really nice, we just pulled off all the paint, took a file to these edges to get off most of the sharp ends. And now we are going to pre-drill. So yesterday we finished the hole, sanded down the sides. I did forget to mention, I didn't bring it up with me, but I like to paint every time I cut something. I paint it with some type of rust-proof paint. So I used some Rust-Oleum and just went around the edges of it just to make sure it doesn't rust in the future. And also I ran out of the rest of the sealant, so I bought this from Home Depot, and it's actually cheaper, but I just want that in the image. Just so you guys can look at that, it was like $5.50 for this big old roll. So I'd probably buy a couple of those if you don't buy the other one that I'm gonna post on there. And the next step is to put in some lap sealant. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So we got the hole all done. It's all sealed up. Now it's time to put in the fan. So the fan has 4 screws. There's 2 on each side right here. And in order to get to them, this needs to open. So you either have to plug this into power and open it, or it has this convenient manual opening feature. So we can open it up, and then we'll set it in for install. I always like to screw everything in to where it's loose fitting to start with. That way if you need a little wiggle room, one screw isn't holding the whole thing down. Pulling this part off is always the fun part. Oh, it's so beautiful. Satisfying?
Very.
The fan is in. It's installed. We ran a wire. This is just for a positive wire, and ran that over here all the way down to the battery, which is going to get installed into a fuse block. And this is just the negative, which it's really weird. The black is the positive on this, just for all of you looking. Usually black is negative. I just used a self-tapping screw and went right into this and put a little circle connector on there. I'll turn it on. Yeah. There's also a remote. You can turn it on and off from here. You can turn the fan speed up and down. You can turn the temperature up and down, so it'll automatically stay at a certain temperature. It has a button to close or open the lid, so you could just open the lid and drive down the freeway, or just open it up at night if you want ventilation. And then there's also a button that has arrows going the opposite direction. All these buttons are up here too. But the buttons that are going the opposite direction reverse the fan rotation. So you can either have it be an exhaust fan and it'll suck air out, or you can have it be a fan and it'll push air in. So it's working. Install looks great. Thanks for watching, guys.